Let's talk a little bit about some things that we can do with an exercise ball that can also help you work core, shoulders, a lot of different areas of the body. We're going to start with sort of the simpler version, and then we're going to build from there to the most complicated version. For these, it definitely is easier using a larger ball, making sure that it is pretty well filled, although having a little bit of give to it can be helpful if balance is an issue. The more blown up it is, the harder that balance component is going to be. So that's something to keep in mind if you're finding that you're really, really wobbly on it and just need some time to build up from there. We also want to make sure that we have safe space around us as we're doing this, because if you do end up going off course at some point, it is easy to kind of roll off and hit something. So make sure you don't have any tables, sharp objects, anything like that around that you might run into or roll over as we're doing this. So that's our little PSA of safety stuff for these exercises. Now, these are things where you really need to be cautious as you're doing this. Do not try these unless you are truly ready for them, and ideally with a bit of advice beforehand beyond just watching this video to know that you are safe and ready to do these exercises. But here we go with our progression of prone rollouts on the exercise ball. First option, we're going to be going out and just walking out into like a plank position, and we'll build on that idea in a second. I'm starting nice and far back, making sure I have plenty of space in front of me for this exercise. I'm going to come to my hands or to your fists if you have wrists that are a problem. And we're just going to walk out, keeping our core engaged as far as is comfortable. The further you get towards your ankles, the harder this is going to be. With that, we want to try keeping our body as still as possible as we're doing that and not getting huge weight shifts, although it's totally normal to get some of that weight shift in there. Now, if we want to build on that concept, we're going to walk out, go to wherever is comfortable for you, and then here we can do a push-up. Come back up, and then again, we walk back in. That's our next progression. Now, if we really want to increase the challenge for our shoulders and upper body, we have a couple more options that we can do. Let's start with the easier version of the three. Our setup is going to be similar. We're going to roll out, and then we're going to curl our knees towards our chest. For this one, we only want to go to about our knees, otherwise we're not going to have anywhere to go. And then we're going to just bring these up and back. That's the next version, level 3. If that's feeling pretty good, we can do similar idea, but now butt is going to go up higher. We're really trying to get up over our shoulders, almost into an overhead press. For our final option for this exercise, this is the one where you really need to be the most cautious. I will also fully admit that I am not great at this option, but I want to at least introduce it for people who are ready for that next level of challenge. So what we're going to be doing is that same walk out on our hands to about our knees, except this time, instead of curling our knees underneath us, bringing our knees to our chest, we're actually just going to stay in a piked position to press up and over our shoulders. This is one where we really want to be cautious that we're not overshooting it and that we're ready for this exercise. So let's see what I can accomplish today with this one, since I admitted that I am not the best at this, but this will give you the idea of what we're going for with this exercise. So I've gone to my knees. Now I'm going to keep my legs straight, core engaged, and I'm just going to lift hips up towards the ceiling. And we want to try getting hips as high up towards the ceiling and getting the ball almost underneath our feet as we do that. So that gives you a few ideas of things that we can do to progress, working on shoulder and upper body strength while also working on core, using our exercise ball with these prone rollouts. As a reminder, we have the walkout into the plank, the walkout to the plank with a push-up, walk out to the plank, tucking our knees towards our chest. Fourth version is walk out to plank, knees to chest, but really getting hips high so that we're basically stacking hips over shoulders over hands. The last version is our inverted pike, where we walk out on our hands to about our knees. We keep our core engaged, then we lift hips up, keeping our knees straight, getting our hips in line with our shoulders and our hands on the ground. So hopefully this gives you some ideas to work on a lot of upper body and core strength.